That's what I like, for me personally. That's what I love most about doing this. Having been a coach, because I've been really fat and out of shape, I've been able to go in the gym for 3 hours at a time and it fly by. And I've also walked in back out of shape and 5 minutes felt like an eternity. And I had no idea how I'd ever enjoyed it. I didn't know how I was ever going to find my way back to loving it. And that's when your why has to kick in. And I think that's also whenever you have to remember it is just temporary. And it's one of those, you pick your hard. You pick your hard, you pick your hate. Like, if you're gonna, it's gonna be hard. For me, like at that point, sweeping the floor was hard because my back was so out of shape and I was so tired from just being out of shape and hating the way I felt. Or I was gonna pull it together and hate trying to figure out how to do it, but knowing it was gonna get better. And you do that until it does. Yeah. I've technically only have 3 sets, but I like to, obviously start with like my warm-up set before my working sets because my hamstrings and glutes I have a hard time connecting with. Last year I knew going in that was one of the big things I needed to bring up was going to be hamstrings and glutes. So taking the extra time to warm up and get everything engaged where I can really get it firing off has been a big point this season. I'm excited about getting leaned out again and really just seeing all that hard work getting chiseled out. It's definitely a different thing between in-season and off-season, so having the improvement season this year has been a lot of recompositioning from last season, but there's nothing like getting to see like the muscle striations and those muscle fibers. Yeah, whenever you get to see like really what's underneath everything that you've built up, you really do get to walk away with a whole different body. You feel kind of like you chisel yourself out of clay. And yeah, there's things that you have on your body that you never knew, and having only done one show so far, going into the next one, it gives me something to work for, knowing that there is more than what even meets the eye and getting to see what I've improved on. So I really have to slow myself down with hamstrings and glutes. With this, I try and feel it more in the glutes because I am so quad dominant, which can be frustrating. So that I did just kind of blast through it, so I felt it more in my hips and my quads. Next one, I'll be aiming to really like push through the heels, squeezing the glutes more. Well, and being strong, but not to bodybuilding in terms of like engaging the muscles and connecting with the muscles, because in powerlifting you just have to be strong.
But you have to move weight.
You just have to move it. You almost don't want to think about it. You want to be kind of out of your body and just go with it and push. With this, you have to be inside of the body and focus. Back on the turf, and then 3 sets of 20 to 30 squats. I'll superset those and try and take like a minute or less break in between the two. Halfway down the turf, and that's what I really love about doing the barbell lunges is, especially when you're inside or even out here, especially, like you can't just drop the weight. I mean, you could, but when you look down the turf and you still have to go back down the whole other direction, man. But you still go. You have to get down. You got the whole gym watching. If you drop it, like it's not like missing one rep or one set, where you can just do it quietly. Like everybody's looking at you. You have to get back down to the finish line, and you always do. That's a good thing. And you're gonna make it. So You know, 2 hours at least to get through these lifts. So that's one of those you gotta come like mentally prepared just for that. Like I mean, I love leg day; it's my favorite. But walking into these knowing that you've got at least a good 2 hours here to get through all the programming to do it right, like. But you also get to get on stage knowing that you really worked. That's the other cool part. Like you get to. Nobody sees this part, obviously, for any of us. Nobody sees what you're putting in, but you get to make the choice. Like, you can step on stage with a good body or a good body with a lot of pride, knowing that you really worked as hard as you absolutely could have when you maybe didn't have to.
So you're pumped up, and you're kind of hitting a really good groove.
Yeah, back in the groove, like. But it didn't come without mental feat along the way. You know, recovering from being sick and. Taken probably a good 4 months off, maybe even 6, like unwillingly recovering from being sick, and at that point, like you lose your groove and your motivation, so you don't want to go to the gym, and then you feel awkward going back to the gym and knowing that you're fluffy and you're not gonna be able to keep up, and then you have to just find that place of knowing it doesn't get better unless you do. You have to get back in it and just keep pushing. And it's been about three months of consistently being here every day like I'm supposed to, and it's taken off. Next level. Better than before.